What if you consumed something every single day of your life, but the information you had on the thing that you're consuming was almost nothing? What do you consume in your everyday life that you know nothing about? If you answered the potato, that's cool, because that was my answer too. Hi there, I'm Mars Wilson with the Digital Quill Podcast, and I'd love to welcome you into another episode of Season 2 of The Quill. Thank you, as always, for joining us, because this is a solo woman show. All the editing, all the sounds, all the media, all done by me. So thank you for taking a seat, listening to the potatoes, and also answering my questions. You're awesome. Potato is the third most important food crop of the world. Did you know that? I probably could have guessed, to be honest, because it's in everything. You got potatoes for breakfast, you got potatoes for dinner, you got potatoes for lunch, you got potato crisps or potato chips, depending on where you're from. There's potatoes in everything. You got potato starch, you got potato bread, you got potato pie. Potato, potate. There are more than 4,000 varieties of potatoes, mostly found in the Andes, but that's 4,000 potatoes that I have not consumed, okay? 4,000 potatoes? Yo, I've only eaten like 5 of those. You got Yukon Golds, you got russets, you got purples, you got reds, you got sweet potatoes, you got all sorts of different tubers and spuds. What was the most recent potato that you ate? I mean it. What was it? French fries? And where did you get those? Were they curly? Were they long? Were they straight? Were they thin? Were they flexible? Were they kind of hard because they're crinkle cut and super duper frozen? Have you ever heard of the, what's it called? There's a certain style of potatoes where they fry them and then they refry them. I know a restaurant called Rally's does those. Rally's, also known as Checkers, depending on what side of the country of the United States you're in. Potato. There are also songs, okay? There's music related to the potatoes. There was a meme music group called Meme Music. Meme, M-E-M-E, Meme Music, that was literally all about potato. Just potato. Just the person who was singing the song was singing about potato. Just saying potato, 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 potato. What if that was what this episode was about? What if that's like all we said this entire episode? What if for like the next 45 minutes we just said potato, 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 potate, potato, potato, potate. It's gonna end up sounding really weird, isn't it? Wait, can I make potato sound weird? Potato, potato, potato. If I say it enough times, maybe, just maybe. Before today, I didn't really have a complete grasp, and I even still don't, because I'm not a gardener, and I haven't gardened in a long time. Okay, I take that back. Am I a gardener? No. Could I be? Yes. Have I gardened before? Yes. Have I grown a potato before? You know, I don't remember, and I would certainly love to find out if I can. The potato is 80% water and 20% solids. That's some solid information. If human beings are 75% water and the potato is 80% water, does that mean you could replenish your hydration with water or potatoes or a mixture of the both? So like if you were dehydrated, could you eat like 400 pounds of potatoes? How many potatoes could you eat in a single setting? Like a pound, maybe 3, depends on how much your stomach can hold, I suppose. Like your fellow host, potatoes are adaptable. I'm sure you probably at one point heard about the Great Potato Famine in Ireland. No? Yes? Perchance? Perhaps? Perchance, yeah. I am so great at English words. Now, something I'm incredibly interested in at this moment in time is how many times I have said potato in this episode already. Because by the end of it, you're going to get so sick of potatoes, you're never going to want to look at another one again. Speaking of the Great Famine, which was caused by a failure of the potato crop, which a lot of people relied on for nutrition because potatoes, oddly enough, are rich in potassium, vitamin C, B6, and even iron and zinc. Yes. So potatoes aren't just starchy, gooey, delicious fry things. They're also nutritional. The Irish Potato Famine, also known as the Great Hunger, began in 1845 when a mold caused a destructive plant disease that spread rapidly through Ireland. The infestation ruined up to 1/2 of the potato crop that year and about 3/4 of the crop over the next 7 years. Because the tenant farmers of Ireland, then ruled as a colony of Great Britain, relied heavily on the potato as a source of food, the infestation had caused a catastrophic impact on Ireland. It's pretty crazy, honestly. I have absolutely no idea what I would do if I was not able to eat a potato ever again. If I ended up in the hospital in a coma and I woke up and someone looked at me, probably the doctor, and they were like, "Miss, you're no longer able to eat potatoes." I would look at him or her. I'd look at them. I'd be like, "All right, send in the assistants because I am self-electing to rid myself off this planet. If I cannot eat potato, that would actually ruin me, honestly." I have no idea how those people suffered during the Great Potato Famine of Ireland between 19 or 14. What were the actual dates? Because I've never locked that down for myself. Oh yeah, 18. Okay, 18th century, 1845 to 1852. Right. That's was in my notes. I should really remember years better, but I don't. Oops. Americans, silly Americans, we may eat a lot of potatoes, but there is one group who eats more potatoes by at least twice as much as we do. Germans. Now, I have questions for you guys. How do you prefer to prepare your potato? Is there any special, German ways to prepare potatoes? Because I have no idea. I'm not German. I might have German descent. No. Maybe? No. Possibly. No? I'll let you know in 7.8 years when I figure out my ancestry. Speaking of heirloom from earlier, heirloom is actually a pretty popular food group, at least for me, because when I see the words heirloom, I'm like, ooh, shiny. Or also heirloom, like fruit of the loom. Oh, I unlocked a memory that I don't... Where did you come from? Get out of here. Germans eat twice as many potatoes. Does that mean they have twice as many potato dishes? How many potato dishes are there? You have French fries, you have poutine, you have mashed potatoes, you have creamed potatoes, you have boiled potatoes, you got roasted potatoes. I know I'm missing at least a dozen or so dishes of potato. I'm gonna get sick of saying potato. What? Heirloom, meaning passed down through generations. Open pollinated. It keeps its characteristics from plant to plant. Heirloom is pretty special. It's not lab grown, it's plant grown. The most natural way a plant could be, because I don't know what you know about Monsanto, but I know enough to know that I don't like eating things that don't come directly from the earth. Factory grown food. Get the fuck out of here. The top producers of potato are China and India. America, or the United States, we do get all of our potatoes mostly from us, such as places like Idaho, Oregon, California, and even our Canadian neighbor, Canada. Hey, could you send me some of those tubers, friends? Thanks. I want a Canadian tuber. From 1997, potatoes started getting cultivated so much more. So, like, you know what a developing country is, right? A country that's in the process of being developed to be not a third world or a 100th world country, but a first world one. Maybe one of the answers to becoming a first world country is, in fact, potato. Oh, so if I want to create a, like, new country myself, the country of the quill, I'm 100% joking, by the way. So this is entirely satire and entertainment at this point. If I wanted to create a whole new country, does that mean that it would be recognized as a whole country if I had like 25% potato production? Because from 1997 to 2007, the potato production, or the potato cultivation, increased by 25% in developing countries. And honestly, as a potato lover, that makes me really happy, because 25% is a lot. Like, when you're talking about a agricultural growth intake, or like agricultural, what's the word? I have it on the top of my head. Nope, it's lost. Some business executive term, some fancy science term. But, yeah, like 25% in an increase of growth in developing countries. Like, that's a lot. That's a huge amount of crop. Like, I cannot even imagine, because I haven't even researched enough of this to, like, articulate it. However, that's jobs. That's food. That's jobs and food. Like, that's the ability to have a career. Well, maybe being a potato farmer is a career. Is it? I might need someone to weigh in on that. It could be. Yeah, we do need potato farmers. But who aspires to be a potato farmer? You know, maybe that's me. Maybe it's I. Maybe I aspire to be a potato farmer. Maybe in between recording podcasts and writing books and talking to people and experiencing life, I farm potato. No. I'm probably gonna end up hurting the potatoes. Let's be honest. I haven't really successfully grown anything in like 10 years. It's kind of hard to do so when you live in the desert where it's 100 billion degrees like 7 months of the year. There's also a not so fun fact about spuds. Potatoes can contain a toxin known as solanine. It's harmful to humans. It actually will do more than just mess up your stomach if you eat a potato that contains solanine. And that is actually I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and if I can articulate this in a way that's coherent and makes sense, is this. Light affects the chemicals and compounds in a potato. Because the potato is primarily grown underground in the dark soil. When exposed to light, the toxin known as solanine will increase and become actually toxic. So when you eat a potato that's been exposed to light and contains a high level of that toxin, your stomach will get messed up and your brain will be messed up a little bit because it will affect your nervous system. Just a fun fact. So don't eat any wild potatoes you see above ground, and if they're green. As a matter of fact, just buy a potato book on potato identification and carry that with you when you go potato hunting. 7,000 years of potato. There has been 7,000 years of potato. Another wild fun fact. That's 7,000 years. That's like 7,000 years that we could have been consuming potato instead of recording this show. Potato, the almighty potato. I worship and hail the potato. Forget Cthulhu, the spaghetti monster. Where's the potato spud? If you're into numerology like I am, and this is the final part of the show because I am nearing my time where I need to GTFO. If you're into numerology, I have some information for you regarding potato. Because yes, I decided to numerology the potato. The expression number, also known as the destiny number, is 6. And it's quite funny when you think about it, because when you have your destiny number as 6 and you know about astrology or numerology, expression number 6 is all about protecting and nurturing. Anyone or anything or anyone with the destiny number or expression number 6 will create environments where others feel safe. Not just like physical spaces, but also emotional climates. It's no wonder, and it's absolutely amazing to me, that this is the expression number for a potato. Because, like, think about it. How many people's comfort food is the potato? How often are you reaching for a bag of chips? By the way, what's your favorite brand of chip? Lay's, Cod, Cape Cod, Boulder Canyon, Zapp's? There are so many chip brands. Oh my gosh. Have you tried tallow chips? Chips that are made with beef tallow. So delicious. Beings and people and things with expression 6 as a numerology number will fix things just by being present, consistent, and genuinely invested. Over time, that consistency will also generate kind of a natural authority to it. So, yeah, as someone who hails the mighty potato, I could kind of say from a numerology experience or perspective that makes sense, because I could be in a room surrounded by potatoes and immediately feel a sense of calm. It's always been that way. The soul urge number. It's the heartbeat of numerology. It's something that's also taken for granted because it's the thing that your essence, your soul, is telling you that you deserve, that you need, that you want. In numerology, the soul urge number comes from all of the vowels in the birth name. It's the emotional tones that you carry throughout your life. And since the soul urge number of the potato is 4, 4 in numerology stands for earth, blue, and the desire for groundedness. So like, planet Earth is assigned to 4 itself. Blue is consistency. Green is living material. So when you think of the colors that Earth is associated with, you have green, blue, maybe even white because air. And when you sit and do color association theory, where you might assign a color to an object, what color would you give potato? If you sit and think about it, and I mean like of the primary colors, like yellow, blue, red, green, orange, purple. Like, I don't mean neutrals and earth tones, like white and black and tan and brown. I mean like primary colors. Red, blue, green, purple, orange, yellow. What of those colors would you give potato? And then finally, I think this part is probably the more interesting part, is the personality number of potato. Personality of the potato is number 2. And according to the internet, and according to numerology, and according to research of all sorts, potato works very strangely. Potato is the type of being, the type of food that everybody wants on their team, but nobody really thinks to promote. Potato, with personality 2 in numerology, naturally will gravitate toward collaborative environments. It being a side dish makes total sense. Places where the ability to bridge perspectives and hold groups together is kind of needed daily. So, like, yeah, I mean, potatoes being a personality number of 2, yeah, that checks. That checks quite a bit. But yeah, that is all of my notes, really. Numerology, potato famine, how many potato dishes there are, potato, tomato, potato. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope this episode entertained you, educated you, made you a little bit more curious, or at least a combination of the above. Thank you as always, humans of Earth, for joining me today. Keep going. Don't stop, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.